turn it up to 105. We about to turn it up to 105. Them niggas acting like they getting up.
Okay, and go ahead, Ed.
All right, so we got the Awkward Ménage podcast. This is the holiday special. We talking about Thanksgiving and everything, holiday traditions, Christmas, holiday, like all the holidays, right? So I'm Mercenary to down. We got Nibor.
What up?
We got a couple extra people on here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Shu Shu. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I ain't got no Instagram. I ain't got no Twitter. I ain't got nothing.
Don't look for
I'm
her
Shu
staying
Shu.
around, but
That's
you'll
it.
see her every once in a while on the show coming here forward to discuss some topics with us and get a crack-a-lackin'.
Yeah, I know a lot of.
I'm on the west side of Detroit, driving around the city right now, looking at the beautiful people outside and stuff.
Beautiful.
Detroit is beautiful. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, man.
Hey, everything.
Fuck what they talking about. Shit. I keep bringing my ass back. Obviously, I love it.
Right.
Thanks.
I'll bring my ass back, but just to visit. Hey,
My
Yeah.
ass back and
that's what I'm
stay.
doing.
That's the difference. Like I come back and stay, but see, I'll be going through the shit you be going through.
I should have just came back to visit.
Life, boy, life. And our last and final guest is
Terrance, what up? Repping Pontiac. I like Detroit too. It's beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Town.
All right now.
Pontiac.
All
He's in our-
We got the yak in this bitch. We got the D. We
Huh?
got Alice. That's what's up. We in this bit.
Yeah, we represent the murder midden. What's happening?
Hey.
Detroit.
Yeah. Look,
Oh
you
my
said birthday, he cut his hair off.
No.
Hey,
So,
he murder me. He like, nope. No. All right, we good.
Right.
So that's a whole
What
nother
y'all
episode.
want to talk about today?
All right.
Traditions, yay.
Ugh.
Yeah. Why you doing the?
Oh man,
I feel you.
I hate
Family
listen.
celebration.
Like, listen. All right, so let me go ahead. Let me pop this off by saying this. Like, I hate black traditions because they really ain't black traditions.
There you go.
Okay, well,
Right.
you
Like-
hate
What's the
whitewash
tradition? What's the
They ain't
tradition?
black. You can't even call it a black tradition because it ain't black.
Right, like you know what I'm saying. Like black traditions.
Like Thanksgiving for one.
We celebrate Thanksgiving. They came over here, stole the fucking land from us, but
From us.
fed them.
Offer
They
us a
saved
turkey.
their lives, right? Their lives. And then they thanked them by stealing this shit and called it America. I don't know what the fuck this shit was called before then, but nigga, it wasn't America, I'm sure.
But see,
No.
that's a black tradition though. Like they made it a hot line, we made it a hot song. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like you
Of course.
can't tell me back in the day you ain't.
Yeah,
never
I
told
mean
nothing
that's
about
my
help 'em
thing.
look
Like,
for it.
yeah, you right.
Dang,
You
I don't know who ate your sandwich. Like we do that. We made the tradition.
I agree.
So
We did it once and we made it hot.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like, you know, that's
So
what
what do we consider to even be a black tradition? Like what is that?
Nigga, do we have any?
Kwanzaa.
Right.
That's about it.
Kwanzaa, right?
Because most people
African-American
want.
tradition. That's about it. That we don't even celebrate or really know about. Most of us.
Right. I
Yeah.
did. I'm the
Yeah.
only person I know that celebrates sponsors. Like literally.
Yeah,
Well, I know
I was
probably
the
like
only when I grew
5
up, I
other
was the
people
only
because I celebrated with them.
Yeah, I was the only family that celebrated Kwanzaa when I grew up as well. My mom knew some Africans, and we used to go over there every year and fucking
That
celebrate.
is dope, though.
Mm-hmm.
This where I'm at with it, right? We need to stop calling it what everybody else can label it and come up with our own traditions, our own holidays. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everybody getting together with their family, kicking it, drinking, eating, and all that. Let's have our own celebrations. Let's stop
Right, let's just have like 8
using
get
the white
fucked up.
label.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I have we just celebrated our festivities yesterday, as a matter of fact. And one of my aunts, whom happens to be around like 85 years old or something, went fed on my sister for calling it Thanksgiving celebration. Like, it's not that. It's a family gathering. Ain't no Thanksgiving nothing.
Yeah, I'm cooking today.
Okay.
But you know, I'm
Right
cooking
here.
today.
Don't nobody say that in here.
All right, so wait.
Say what you
Okay,
want to say.
wait. But on that note, right? Like family traditions and like just a broader scale, black traditions are different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't have any black tradition. Well,
Right, you don't.
oh yes,
we got
Not
April
a-
Jackson turn day.
but other people don't like our black traditions. We do
Like-
have a tradition. We go back Jordans every time they drop. That's a tradition.
I'll run around.
They been doing that for about 20 years.
But ain't nobody paying attention to Juneteenth.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, we don't even care about our own black traditions. Like, we say we need to stop celebrating, calling it Thanksgiving or the European tradition, but we have them. We just don't care. Like, let's be honest. We bring them up to make a point, but one of my boys throw a Juneteenth celebration every year. Like, a big one. Put big money into it. Buy bars out. Like, just, and people like, what's Juneteenth? Like, we don't care. Like, let's be honest. We throw it out as a counterpunch to a European holiday, but we just ain't, hey, what's going on for June? You don't see the Juneteenth flyer.
Exactly.
Like, we don't
Well, we pumped about, which I don't understand. We're pumped about Cinco de Mayo and
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Traditions that aren't ours.
Halloween, which actually celebrates Dia de los Muertos, which is another.
I'm about to piss a lot of people
like, come on.
Be hype about Easter, Passover, all this type of shit. Ain't none of that us.
None of it. Ramadan, none of it.
Christmas, that's not even a real.
That's the main one. That's not us. Everything that we have has been regurgitated and spit into our mouth, and we swallow.
Right.
That was harsh. That was harsh.
It's all right, bro.
She just went,
bro.
Damn.
The ones who ain't got no family press.
I mean, I guess here's the question though, right?
You talking to Scrooge in the flesh. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
No, keep them bars. Be you. That's who you are. Keep that
Right.
going.
Go ahead.
Is there an issue? Like, is there a major issue? Not counting social media issues, not counting shit that Black Twitter makes pop. What is the issue with Black people celebrating non-Black holidays or non-Black traditions? Like, how does that negatively impact us?
Well, first of all, listen. First of all, I'll put it to you this way: by us being snatched the fuck up and however the fuck we got here, and not knowing our traditions, that'll do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That began it. But then now that you have more people waking up, it's still a question. Like, okay, now you got some people stuck over here. Got some people stuck over here. You got the people that's like running up the middle. That's like, okay, like shit, I'm gonna take this straight lane. I ain't gonna pay no attention to none of this shit, right?
Yeah, that's
but
me.
In the end, it's all the fucking problem. Like,
but I'm saying, what is the problem? Because like, let's be honest.
But you know what? I feel like there really isn't a problem. If you choose to celebrate it, that's your choice. Celebrate it. Love what you celebrate. However, don't celebrate and make that law, and you don't even know, you know, who your people are or what your people went through or what your people used to celebrate.
I mean, but I'm saying, like,
identity-wise, that's a problem.
When you celebrate
Okay.
Thanksgiving, what do? When you celebrate Thanksgiving, you eat some turkey, you eat some stuffing, watch a game, and go to sleep. Like,
most people, get to go play. Yep.
On Christmas, what are you doing? You going out spending some money, buying a PlayStation, buying some J's, buying a tree.
Expensive ass shit.
So it's like the same shit we do on
Xbox,
same shit we do for birthdays.
True.
So it's like,
spend $1,000 at Dollar Tree.
This I think the problem lies with people feel like they forced to celebrate the shit, because then you got your kids, they sad if you don't get them nothing. If you tell them you don't want to celebrate Christmas, you know, because you don't believe in it, but they looking at everybody else kid getting all these expensive ass presents.
But you know what?
That's not true.
Wait. That goes.
Wait a minute. Hey, shut the fuck up.
Oh shit.
Just raise your hand, you know, and you want to speak. Because we can't understand it when we all get to talking at once. I know it's exciting. Let's hear everybody. Shit.
Hold on. Hey,
Okay.
I got 2 hands up. But
Terrance
no.
had his hand up first. I'm the teacher. Let's go.
Man,
Get a break
so,
today, Miss Shu Shu.
Let's just say hypothetically.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And I'm gonna make it short and sweet because I talk too damn much. But let's say hypothetically, if you didn't celebrate Christmas, but instead you celebrated Kwanzaa, right? The dope shit about Kwanzaa is every day is represented by another principle. Like my family been celebrating our whole Umoja, Kuumba, Ujima, Kuumba, Nia, and Imani. So every day you get a different gift.
How you pronounce it? Uji
How are you gonna miss out on one day of Christmas gifts when you get gifts with
Kwanzaa? But you know what? The thing about Kwanzaa is, though, that I know most people don't like is that you don't go out to the store, though, and buy all the latest toys. That gift has to be handmade by that person that's giving the gift.
No, the gift has to be
not on every day. No, not on every day.
The gift just
that is the actual tradition.
No.
That's how I was. Okay, wait a minute. That's how I was raised. So go ahead. Let's talk. Let's discuss Kwanzaa.
You gotta think about it. We can merge it too. If we want to bring people together, we got to give everybody a little bit of something that they feel like they need, or else they gonna self-destruct. Right. So if we have a way to integrate the going to the store to buy gifts to give on the different days of Kwanzaa, hey, who got time to be making a gift? Keep it real.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what it's set up for.
People out here working 3 jobs just to have somewhere to live.
Your gift
we gotta we gotta evolve our traditions. Exactly. We gotta they have to evolve with us. Well, that's why they don't survive, because they don't
makes sense.
Because Christmas just started off as leaving coal in people's shoes, but those who couldn't afford to heat their homes. That is a Norwegian Christmas, but that turned into a tree, gifts, stockings, and toys under the tree. Kwanzaa is just every day is a different principle. So, for instance, the first day is Umoja, unity. Mm-hmm. So the gift just represents unity. So,
that's the one that's supposed to make the most.
Umoja,
right.
A PlayStation 4 and games that you can play together.
Year of
that's
online gaming.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do in our house.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just super duper just old school. Like my kids, they make me gifts every day, bracelets and necklaces and pictures and drawings. But yeah. That I guess that's a good way to kind of ease them into from what we shouldn't have been celebrating. So
okay, now see where my problem comes in. Listen, where my problem comes in.
I don't think people need to get multiple gifts. Like that's just it teaches you something different psychologically. It gets you accustomed to a lifestyle that you're not being taught how to maintain.
Material lifestyle. But they don't even put love into it no more.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But you know what? It always goes back in every episode to it all starts at home, because I tell my kids from jump, ain't no fucking Santa Claus. This is my year worth of hard ass work to get you these gifts, and I have more than once withheld Christmas gifts from a kid, gave them away, kept them for myself because you acting a motherfucking fool. Hell no.
Listen, I got broke up with one time because I didn't buy somebody a Christmas gift.
Wow.
My parents could not sell Christmas to me at any age. I was like 4. My dad.
Listen, the whole Santa Claus shit was like lost to me when I was little.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't. That was never my mentality. I was just like, Dad, that doesn't make sense. Let's go. Right.
He came down the chimney. He fat as fuck, right? But he came down the chimney.
What's up? Like,
how the fuck he doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like growing up, like, no disrespect to Christians, but growing up Christian, I'm not supposed to believe this motherfucker magically comes down this fucking chimney.
Right.
Feel me? Like,
you know what?
He like Fred Flintstone down when he borrowed on the city. Down the chimney with the net.
He landed on a sloped ass roof. Hold on. He landed on a sloped ass roof. The sleigh didn't slide. I ain't hear shit, nigga. But I wake up in the morning and I got a bunch of gifts under the tree. Nah, that shit don't make sense. No. I don't even tell my kids that bullshit.
We have a white living room. How is that gonna work? And my grandma,
Santa sounds like a pedophile to me. Kids sit on his lap and then he brings them gifts for sitting on his lap. No.
That nigga cookies off your motherfucking fireplace.
That's why I love the movie Bad Santa, because it just exposed the fuck out of the
Right.
Hey, no.
Yeah, Santa's kind of dope, dog.
But you know what? I don't
Santa was solid. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Man. If you really look at the real story of St. Nicholas.
That's what I was getting to.
Like when we know, like, Patrice Lumumba and people like that, though. But we know all of these Europeans. How is that not a problem?
Well, see, that's where problems come in. People have their own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
When you have your own opinion, a lot of times people don't agree with it. I don't give a fuck.
No, you know what? I don't think people have their own opinion. People have their own perception. So that's what they try hard for.
Yeah.
Same shit. Really?
I mean, personally, like, I just hate to hold one or the other. Like,
exactly, because life ain't never been that.
You know how, like, when people say, like on the social media thing, or all y'all talking about Popeyes and these girls being abducted. Like, okay, I get it. The girls are being abducted, but that ain't got shit to do with Popeyes.
You know what? I'm not funny.
No, hold on. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because I know that's a deep conversation. I was just using that because I just seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the whole point is people try to pit one against the other. Like,
it is apples and oranges.
Pit Pan-African traditions against European. Right? You can just, so like the thing that you say, that's what bothers me too. It's like, okay, yeah, people don't know a lot of African traditions, but that is not because of the existence of the European traditions. It's because we choose not to highlight our own traditions. So like me, I teach my kids about Kwanzaa, about the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba, about the Mayat and the 42 admonitions. We learned about that. But my daughter also believes, she's in the 5th grade and she's still kind of on the edge with Santa Claus. Like, I'll still write from
you know, I don't want it.
It's not one or the other. For me, Santa is just all about imagination. The only thing I can say that I've done great with my daughter is I have invested in her imagination. Right? She is a great creator. She's terrible with structure, but she's a great super imaginative. You tell her to write a story, she'll write you a 10-page story, illustrated with a bibliography, all type of stuff. But you give her a math problem and she's super frustrated, right? And I think stuff like that, Santa, that whole imagination, imagining what's going to happen, that anticipation, that helps create some of that creativity. That's just the way I choose.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's just what I do with it. None of it makes sense. Santa, a Easter bunny, a mammal laying eggs. Come on, man. It's stupid.
Right.
Like,
give me all this fake shit.
Right, we gotta get the discernment. Exactly.
Imagination.
Forgive me all this fake
shit. Want to take away from that.
Okay, so then we go back to the question. Then we have Kwanzaa. What are some traditions that we should be celebrating or should be encouraging others to celebrate as African Americans?
Like I said, you got two of them. One means faith and one means unity. Them the two that we need to work on as a people, period.
Have faith in the black, just in us, period. Too many of us don't.
Stop putting our people down. That's one.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that exactly right there. Too many of us who don't have faith in us, that all we do is trash black people all day long. I do not support that in any way, shape, and or form.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel like some individuals are trash, but I don't gotta just go around.
Shu Shu. What you just said, that right there is a whole nother episode. Back self. But it's like these man, when I say we fucked up.
Yeah, I come from an extremely large, extremely dysfunctional group of individuals. And we were all together yesterday. And it really wasn't no incident. And the crazy part about it was everyone was surprised that there was no incident. That's sad. That's sad to me. We have to celebrate the fact that, hey, we got together and didn't nobody do. And did, you know, what?
Right.
Make that the new tradition. Yeah, we get together and we don't fight now.
No, we
Yeah.
don't.
For the 2020.
Man, they killed Huey.
They definitely did. Shot him with the heroin.
That was the end of it. You ain't seen no Black Power movements outside of like New Era and
Thank you.
Black movement.
We
And
had
the Black Panther was just as bad as the fucking KKK.
Oh, we do have a tradition, y'all. Free lunch. That's all us. They stole that though.
Look up to. Not if you.
What else? I think we should bring back story blankets, family story blankets. Them was called. I took a Black art history class at the University of Michigan.
On the money.
And I saw some of the most beautiful stuff I ever seen. Like, you couldn't even believe that a person with a needle did all of that intricacy. And like, it looks exactly like the photo that you holding up next to the blanket.
Yep. My mom was a
see that. Never heard of that.
And a doll maker. She had her business when I was growing up. And that's all she did. I used to sit there and watch her hand stitch them fucking blankets, and I looked like she crazy. What is she doing?
Because y'all gotta understand, a lot about her.
Tradition. One thing, like, that should be some shit that's traditional. Like, okay, it's not gonna be hereditary, but traditional. Like, okay, well, I'll teach at least one of my grandkids how to
this. Exactly. Right. That's what my with me. That's what I do with my nephews. But anyway, I was gonna say this. The issue with our culture versus with our African culture versus European culture is Europeans lie heavily on the.
Did I just go out or did she go out?
You said they rely heavily on the what?
Somebody was calling my phone. But anyway, they rely heavily on the written word, whereas the African culture, most of our traditions are passed down verbally and through, like dance and different things like that. That's why I can't stand that twerking got turned into something like totally what it's really actually not.
That was a dance. I already know what you want.
Yeah, we was able to do it. It wasn't no thing. It was just a part of how we danced when we were younger. They put it into the strip club and attached it so heavily to strip culture. Now it's negative. Like, no, you just took something. Everything that is our tradition and culture is always made something nefarious. So we will abandon it because it just became nefarious.
Right. So, no, what it is, I'm gonna tell you what it turned into money.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
If we being honest about
hold on, Ed. Terrance is speaking. Go ahead, Terrance.
If we being honest about what's the major difference between African tradition, African culture, Pan-African tradition, Pan-African culture, and European culture, what is the major difference between their traditions and ours? Is that they have pushed the commercialization of their tradition, right? St. Patrick's Day, nobody knows who St. Patrick is or what he did, but they know we gonna go out to a bar.
Green beer.
Nobody knows who St. Nicholas is.
Advertising.
They get it. But the thing is, they have pushed the commercialization of their traditions because they understand the commercial importance of them. Whereas, just like you said, let's say hypothetically, twerking is something that was given a totally different connotation, but was a different type of dance before. And it's now been commercialized, right?
Yep.
It's now strip club culture. It is now music video culture. How come we didn't take advantage of the commercialization of our tradition? We never do. Y'all was just talking about this last week with the music about how we let other people come in and make money off. And those are because it's a bunch of European traditions that didn't last. The ones that last are the ones that are commercially viable.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. Even with Christmas, if you pay attention to how Christmas even like evolved into what it is now.
They just took it from Kwanzaa and put money
P-game. What they did was, in America, they took it and they was like, okay, yeah, we gonna put Santa Claus here. This is really not that long ago when you think about it. It's like
right.
The 20s or 30s?
Yep.
They gave you this idea of he gonna come and fucking save you. and give you every fucking thing you need, as long as you be good.
Facts.
But
I
hold
can't
on, let me
look at it-
ask this
I
question.
can't look at that shit the same way as I look at religion.
Right.
Yep, same way, same thing.
It's the same
Same
shit.
person, an outfit.
If you're good to a certain standard,
I
then
got
you'll
something
get
that you got
rewarded.
in my hand, me too.
Hey, I've been wanting to ask this question for a while, and I've just been waiting. I think it's the perfect time. You guys keep talking about we got to help each other and unify and have faith in each other. But I asked this question to somebody else too, on a personal level though. But how do you expect us to have faith in each other and unify with each other and love each other and get to know each other when we don't even have faith in ourselves as a people and love ourselves and know ourselves? It all starts with self. So
Yep.
yeah, it does. It
You
does.
gotta reprogram your
how
mind,
do
and
we
you
do
have
that?
to reprogram everything that you were taught because it was all lies.
Yep.
The Matrix
There's
is
like
probably the only like real truth, the truest thing next to that could actually show you what social conditioning really is like and how you know something not to be true, but then the more you're told that it is, you feel like you
start
lose
believing
your
it.
mind if you
Mhm.
continue to hold on to what you know because you're the only person. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's
I mean, 9 times out of 10.
yeah, hives. We like bees. Like people don't want to. Yes, we are individuals, but we cannot survive without each other. Why do you think they created solitary confinement? What do you mean?
Mhm.
We go against ourselves to appease other people every single fucking day.
I mean, shit, as much as I don't like people, she just said something. She said that's why they created solitary confinement, right? I don't even like people, but if you take me away from everybody,
It's gonna hurt, bro.
So crazy.
me up.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would fuck me up.
it's
The
messed
energy.
up.
I'm about
The
to,
energy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm about to get off the current topic. I'm going back to what Terrance was saying, right? He was like, why we didn't monetize our own culture, our own traditions, and everything. I feel like because we not in it for the money. Black people, yeah,
That's
we
the problem.
argue with everybody, but
Yeah.
we in it more for love and togetherness and celebrating. That was our tradition, celebrating with each other. So the white people look at us like, well, how can we get rich off them? Let's take their shit and get somebody who want money. Let's use them. You know what I'm saying?
And you know,
Right.
Oh, you go ahead. I'll be quiet.
yeah, I just want to say one thing really quickly. And you know what the sad part about it is? We take the negative aspects of what they giving up and not looking at how they actually move, meaning, the people, the affluent people in quote unquote power. We need to look at those types of things. We would never know what their actual traditions are because they have sense enough not to share that type of thing with the masses. What they discuss at the dinner table, unless you're really that privileged, and no, I don't even believe that I believe it's a different script that they would have for a dinner table conversation if they're in the presence of somebody that's not one of them. And that's what our problem is. We don't know how to decipher what it should be ours solely, only, not to be shared, and what can actually be shared. And like you said, we don't even understand the power of our economic dollar. That's our number one thing right there. We are the number one consumers in the world, not the United States.
Black Americans. Black Americans are the number
But you know
one.
what? I
So
always
interesting.
I felt as well that
You can make a water out of wine for 400 plus years.
yeah, my kids were talking about speaking Spanish, and I'm like, shit, we should have a language amongst ourselves. We're literally like the only minority that does not have its own
Yes, we do. It's Black English vernacular, and it has the proverbial B, meaning if you don't know where to place the word B, you are not speaking Ebonics. I'll give you a quick example. Question: where is your mother typically on a Tuesday morning? She be at work.
Yeah.
B means always. She always at work around that time, so she be at work. That's where she at. B. So we have our own. They call it slang. That's not what it is. We have our own dictionary. We take words to mean totally different. taboo in a room full of black people. It's a totally different game. I assure you. Take the words, say that on there. The words you can't say, baby, blanket, bed, room. We're not gonna say any of that. I'll be like, all right, y'all. I'm gonna hit y'all later. I'm about to go to the, and then somebody gonna yell out crib. I've done it 20 times as an example.
I mean, to respond to what she was saying, I agree with the whole we did everything up, whereas other cultures did things to gain financially. But it comes a point in time when you have to understand how the game is being played, and you have to make yourself a player in that game successful. So it's like that's what happens. Like I did music. Like I don't know how many times somebody that asked me to do the battle for the love, or drop the verse for the love, and it's like, bruh, like it gets to a point where it's like love don't pay the bill.
That's intellectual.
Wait.
Right.
Wait. I feel him on that one.
That's your intellectual. That's your intellectual property. Yeah.
Like when I was like recording albums, like people were buying them, but it's like the motherfuckers you expect to fuck around and rock with you don't rock with you, bro.
No,
they want the hook.
They want to eat off you.
Bro, the most easiest thing to manipulate is somebody's emotion. It's super easy to manipulate an emotion, right? It's hard to manipulate. No matter how many ways you split this 4 quarters up, it's still $1. You can only manipulate. It's still $1 at the end of the day, and we get taken advantage of. We go play hoop for the love. No, hoop for the check.
Thank you.
You know what? I think it goes deeper though than an emotion. I don't know, these last few weeks I've been listening to a lot of the old audio books I listened to a couple months ago when we did our Law of Attraction episode.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the Power of Concentration. It goes deeper than emotion. If that person is weak-minded, they are easily manipulated.
No, Pete, one of the realest books you would ever read. And I think if you grew up in Detroit, 9th grade, you read this book. Animal Farm.
Oh yeah, totally.
I love that book. I have that book.
But I read 1981 by Orson Welles. I couldn't even get out the bed after I read 1980. I was at U of M. I had to read it for class. It was so depressing. But we're looking at it right now.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't know they made a movie. It was absolutely terrible. But
I never watched that. Never.
Yeah, that book was good.
All right, now look, let me ask y'all this.
That shit made me physically ill.
How many of y'all actually read the autobiography of Malcolm X?
I did. I have it.
I have.
I got another one.
That man went through everything. Prison. His daddy getting murdered. His mama not being quite right.
Yep.
All kind of shit. Still fucked around and figured out a way to fuck around and motivate a whole bunch of motherfuckers.
Thank you.
So this is something that Shu Shu probably gonna cuss me out because it's probably wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've been saying to the group of kids who I've been mentoring, to my friends who I talk to and things like this. I feel like, my personal opinion, which may be wrong, I feel like post Martin Luther King, post Malcolm X, post 1982, the United States of America, the government learned
the crack era.
Lesson,
I got you.
And the lesson I feel they learned was, okay, if we keep this group of subjugated people comfortable, we won't get another Malcolm X, right?
There you go.
Get another Martin King.
That's all facts, honey.
Okay, that's a fair tactic.
That's all facts, honey.
Hold on, let me
But you know who really messed us up though? They just stretched out the FDR plan. That's what's crippling America, and that's what they don't get. The plan you have for us is infecting you. The disease you gave me, you got it too.
So what I was saying was, what I was telling them was, I was like, I feel like our generation, right? We haven't really been through anything. Like, think about it. I remember I was in the 12th grade when the Twin Towers fell, right? I was in Mrs. Coy's investigative paper class at Pontiac Central. And I remember...
Shout out to people.
I remember George Bush coming on the TV right after the Twin Towers fell. I want to say this was about maybe 3 hours after the towers fell, and he said, "Don't let the terrorists win. Continue living your life. Continue spending money." And I'm like, bro, people just died.
Right.
Right. And to me, and
they canceled classes at the University of Michigan.
Them Twin Towers fell. We had a recession.
Yeah.
All this stuff happened. Guess what? Food stamps never got cut off. Section 8 never got took away.
Now you understand what I'm saying.
So I would always say, if you're comfortable, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, these people spoke out of discomfort.
Don't forget you.
It's like we don't know how to do shit because we ain't been through shit.
There you go.
Who don't really, when they cut your
listen, I can't say we ain't been through
shit. Medicaid, take your free lunch. Now you have to do something.
Yeah. We're gonna get on for saying this, but our generation are some of the people in my generation are some of the worst parents out of everything. I don't care if I need. You ain't finna catch nobody.
We went through different shit. That's what it is. Like, if you look at it,
Sorry about that.
we grew up a different type of way. We didn't have to deal with like you know what I'm saying, like racial injustice for the most part. I mean, shit.
Only if you voluntarily.
Depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say,
depending on what we was doing, like shit. I go fishing with my daddy, and he look up, he turn around, he see a bunch of fucking neo-Nazis and shit walking down the fucking hill. Nigga, we wasn't fishing no more.
Exactly.
So we that shit ain't never been dead. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's why we complacent, because we rely on these little young wild boys out here that's really being raised in the concrete jungle to protect those of us who want to live a simple life, because I might not be gritty and gully like that, but don't make me go get my motherfucking cousin.
Right. And
right.
See, and that's messed up, because you're not really thinking about your cousin when you do stuff like that.
He said 82. He said 1982. That's when crack hit.
And they dumped them guns in the alleys behind all of those houses in LA. The crack and the guns hit, and they dropped at the same time. And if you really want to know and this is how arrogant they are now. Snowfall, you want to do that? You want to cripple us even more, and then make a hit of a show out of it, and continue to make money off of our degradation.
Right.
They learn how to make money.
Listen.
Thank you. So the moral of the story is, if you an American, black, white, yellow, or red, and you don't know how to get money, you failing yourself.
The majority of
that's the only thing that matters in America.
I don't give a fuck who get mad about this one. The majority of the shit that black people are doing is a fucking tap dance.
Mm-hmm. I just seen something they done named Kanye. No, I guess he got it back.
Kanye West. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, I'm about to go to sleep.
That motherfucker, man.
Look, man.
We
tapped in. And Logic, he an example of everything you were saying. He only did that. He need to fund one of his endeavors.
Bruh, Kanye West.
Gospel music, the black church. If you want to be a what they call him, poverty pimp. You want a poverty pimp? You better throw the name Jesus around.
Right.
Man.
India, how you feel?
You gotta do is say.
Look, hold on. India, how you feel about this shit?
It's like magic.
What happened?
It's like magic.
It's like magic. If you want to get on real quick, just start saying a whole bunch of stuff that have anything to do with the Lord.
Right, we
that's how it's getting over. Why are we accepting so many poverty pimps?
So I feel like everyone. Okay, so I talk about my son a lot. People call him an activist. People really meet him and know him. This kid is like fucking on it. He wakes up every morning, works out. He has grow bars, eats his fruits and vegetables so he can be big and strong, and he wants to destroy the white people that fucked us over.
You let your baby watch.
As far as he is concerned, he's gone through enough struggle, unfortunately, in his 6 years of life to feel that way. But it starts at home because
if we don't set a footprint now,
he reads it.
Exactly. I want to say
if we don't set a footprint now for our youth, when they come up and they realize everything we know, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible.
Right. And
look how radical they are. Like, look how aggressive they are. They way more aggressive than we are.
They crack babies or grown up. If you was born in the late 80s, early 90s, and really up into the early 2000s, and the ones that's being born in this generation now, they on so many prescription meds. Good night for those poor little babies. Well, I was gonna say that to say this, as far as like, I'll give Black Panther the movie. I took my nephew to see it for his birthday. At the end of the movie, I asked him, did he like the movie? He said no. I said, why? He said, because I want to kill myself.
Because what?
Like, why? I'm asking him, I want to know. I'm interested. He has an opinion. We raise our people in our family as individuals. Ain't no group thing. Be yourself at all times. You will be respectful or catch these hands. But anything outside of inappropriate stuff, just do your thing. I'm not here to change you. Invalidate your life. That's why we didn't force it down his throat. And asked him why. And he said, all Killmonger wanted to do was help his people. What was the problem with that?
No, look, see, that's
he saw himself in Killmonger, and that's why he didn't like Black Panther. And I wasn't about to argue with him about that because he had a very bad.
Okay, so even talking about that movie,
he was only 8 years old, so
he game though. Even talking about that movie, right? Do you know why Stan Lee created the X-Men?
Malcolm and Martin.
Yeah.
Right. He created and he created the X-Men based on the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't create that shit because he was just feeling like, okay, yeah, these some special motherfuckers. I mean, shit.
Oh, he had to write about it different too, like in a way to where it wouldn't be, like tore up band, like how they was stumping 2 Live Crew and Tupac CDs and stuff. Anything they feel like will change us molecularly to bring us together in a way that we don't know how it's working, but we coming together like a magnet. They shut any of that down. So he had to find a way to
get it. But you know what? And I think that's the problem. And when my son tells me all his little crazy ideas and the things that he wants to do, I always tell him, you have to be both. You got to learn to be Malcolm and Martin. You have to learn when you need to be diplomatic, and you have to learn when you need to stand up and fight and show them you ain't no fucking punk. You have to learn the difference between the two, and it all starts at fucking home.
And man, and if you Malcolm and or Martin, no matter which one you are, you're gonna get your ass shot in the fucking head. It's gonna have
coming for you. They are coming for you. Yes,
ain't lying. Nigga, you gonna die. If you tell too much truth, if
you're not making money,
you go.
But you know what? But I think this is the problem, though. We don't read. We don't know real history, because if we were taught in schools, still taught in schools anyway, about the different empires and how they took over, and we really studied and learned and took the best of each one.
Hold on.
It can actually come together, but that's good.
That's facts, but it ain't even
got do you know the whole story in that
seminars I just want to start seminars. Like, for me, it's just about getting the information out. You want to donate to me for some new notebooks or something like that for me to take my notes. But seminars, we have to start doing it like they did the freedom schools. What was that, 1968?
Oh yeah.
68 where they had come to your yard, teach you how to read the ballot, show you how to read the ballot so you can vote? Like literally door to door. Okay, I get it. You can't give it to them, but I'm here to give you what you really need, even though you don't just know that this is actually what you need.
Do you still stay in the yak?
I'm in the act right now.
Okay, me too. So this is the thing, right? This is what it all boils down to. Because I'm in the yak too. I'm on the south side, right? I done had the same lady come to my house, knock on my door, leave a letter, call my phone, and send a text message trying to buy my crib. I stay right by M1 Concourse, right?
Oh yeah, that's about to be going here.
Bruh, my crib done went up. I bought my crib in 2016. My crib has already doubled in value, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Like everything Nibor just said is facts, right? We do need to know our history. We do need to understand Mansa Musa. We do need to understand that we had wealth before we can get it. But other than that, the thing is, who's willing to sacrifice? This lady done came and offered me double the price of my house. I could walk away with bread in my pocket right now, but I have to understand the value of ownership. So I have to sacrifice right now to have later. I'm willing to do that. My daughter, her mom is a chef. My daughter wants to be a chef so bad. So you know what I had to do? Okay, I had to take some of my money. And at 10 years old, she now has a business, right? She has a menu. She owns the business name. And she just, right now, all she does is goes to her school and she sells bagels, cream cheese, orange juice, pre-wrapped muffins, stuff like that.
Hey,
because
Terrance.
But here's the thing, though, right? Because we can be Malcolm and Martin all we want. We can be Malcolm and Martin all we want, but we're always going to be Malcolm and Martin saying they're treating us wrong until we control the dollar. So this has to stay in our family. So now my daughter
nepotism works. Ain't nothing wrong with nepotism.
But that's what we have to teach, because we're always going to be saying why they. We need to be the they, but we have to have capital. It all boils down to dollars and cents.
My man saying
shit. That's how my grandfather was.
Right? Because I literally make enough money to buy all of the Balenciagas. But I gotta sacrifice, and I could be out here stunting so hard.
All right, listen. I had somebody put me up on some shit one time. Right?
To stand in front of other broke people, that's the most hilarious thing. That just kills
so
me.
I wanna do an episode on Black entrepreneurs, and I have a couple. There's a couple who has I think they have a management firm for music, or they produce music in some way. They want to come on, and then I met a guy out here. He started his own kind of like ride share rental company. He's a black man, so he wants to come on. And Terrance, if you don't mind, maybe no video, having your daughter come on and talking about, you and her, business and all that. That would be dope.
My aunt is an entrepreneur. She's actually working right now. We have a hair salon inside our house. Our home. It's been here for about 25 years now.
Nice.
She survived the recession. All of that.
Yep, I'm gonna get back to
recession. When he first started, the first thing to go when people do
what y'all call it?
Yeah.
I call it.
It's important. We have to show each other that we exist.
Would that be a dope? Getting back to topic of kind of what we were talking about. How about that could be a tradition that can be started here, right?
Yes.
Let's say, for instance, if we all, just us five who are on this call, and we expand it, and we do it as a test experiment to see how it works, right? We create a day, right, for everybody who has a black business that we know. And what we do is simple. On this one day, we're going to make sure all of these businesses get paid on that one day.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So if your auntie has a shop, then our tradition, June 1st every year, we making sure we sending somebody to your auntie's shop. We're sending somebody to so you're going to cut somebody's grass.
Yeah.
And just something that small.
Family economics like that. Like everybody.
So whatever.
economics over here. That's why we're
All in
successful.
different states. If he's selling CDs, hey man, shoot me your PayPal, shoot me your Cash App. I'm gonna buy a couple.
You know what? Right. That's
that's
what I
us right
did. I
there.
was even though I had a lawnmower, I didn't need a landscaper, but there's so many Mexicans out here in Texas. I was tired of seeing Mexican
He has a brother, man.
landscapers. I'm like, I'm not giving them motherfuckers my money. The very first black landscaper I found, even though I had a lawnmower, you're my landscaper now.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's my
Look,
little
it's
$40.
definitely gonna be a bunch of
Black
Mexicans.
business at all times.
So-
I will drive for fire. I don't care. I'm going to my dentist black, my doctor black. Hello, what?
Nah, y'all know what's crazy?
You gotta walk it and talk. You gotta talk it and walk.
You know the Mexicans
I
are
don't
not
think
too
it's
different
around.
from us. They family get together, they argue, they fight,
Right.
and all that, but they still can come together.
Right, and they look out for each other.
Yeah, you
They
Okay,
work together at the end of the
I
day,
know
no
this is
matter
off
what
topic.
happens.
Like, I know this off topic, but
where black business is a new tradition. 2020 moving forward.
I noticed.
Black business is a new tradition. We bankrupting everybody now. They
Look,
bankrupted us. We about to bankrupt every last
Right.
one of y'all. You see what we did to Gucci? They thought it was a
Right,
game.
that's what I was gonna say. We had an episode about that, the Gucci gangbang episode. And that's what I was gonna say. We keep giving them our money. Let's keep our fucking money and spend it amongst
Well,
ourselves.
see,
Our
look,
dollars
hey,
go
hey,
too fast
I'm
about to-
compared to everybody else's.
I'm about to chime in on that shit. Something heavy. See,
New
the difference
tradition,
is
y'all. Cancel.
with black families. You turn 18, what they do,
So you are.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Now,
Let's be on your
what
feet.
I learned-
Group,
What I-
group
Yeah.
economics.
Tricking.
I see. Yeah.
what I've learned is, like, when you look at these motherfuckers that, nigga, they kids stay there, they grandma stay there, they aunties
Right.
stay there.
Every other culture besides ours.
We fucked up.
Yeah.
That
You know
is
what?
a
And this is
result of
Where we fucked
American chattel slavery. We've been separated since we was brought over here. How
up. Right. See,
that DNA
see,
is being
listen, listen. I understand that.
DNA. That's in our PSD. That's in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Huh?
What you
I
say?
understand, but if I fuck around and go out here and buy a house,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I go buy, I'm in Detroit. I could spend
Mhm.
maybe what, $2,500 get a house.
Boy, yep. And
You
you
dig
know
me?
what? And in Southfield, my mom, she bought a house
What?
in Southfield for $5,000 down on
Yeah,
an
talk
acre
that
of
talk.
land, a pond, a gazebo in the back, 3 bedrooms.
Get out of
You
here.
said
Yeah,
$5,000.
it got
Straight
fucked
$5,000.
over, but yeah, like beautiful home.
Yeah.
I can
5,000
house
cash.
for 5,000,
Craigslist.
right? And now my kids, if I died tomorrow, like I still own 2 or 3 houses.
I can speak upon that.
And
I'm
you know
living in
what?
my
That's
family
what I
home
think.
right now.
Yeah, and that's what I
Right
teach my
now.
kids, and that's what oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying I can attest to everything that y'all saying because my grandfather owned the asphalt company. He purchased 2 different properties. We had a house that my father grew up in on the east side, and then in the 70s they moved over here. I think maybe around like 76 or something, where we live right now. It's in what they consider. This is how he was just really stunned because he bought one of the biggest house on the street. First of all, secondly, this is Indian Village that, called this where the people with money, this is where the quote unquote affluent white people used to live. So he bought this large house on this block with y'all, moved us in, and we maintained the property. It's a duplex, but we own the whole thing, and ain't nobody ever lived here other than our family. Period.
Nice.
So when I moved back from Florida, a day in my life did I ever really have to wonder where I could go. I always have somewhere.
See, and that's what I want for my kids. And I
So when we came back,
I'm looking into right now. I'm looking
from home to maintain the space.
Yep. And I want to look in. I've been looking into the cost of land in homes, but that's what I teach my kids. Like, why are you so, like my daughter? She's like, I can't wait till I turn 18. I can move out. Why are you in such a rush to move out? as long as you have a bedroom and a bed to sleep in, why would you move out? You can get a job and save twice as much if you're living at home and only paying a quarter of the bills.
Let me chime in on that.
My boyfriend can't stay the night.
And there you go. And see that conversation. My ex-wife's son graduates high school this year, and me and Dude, we still have a connection. We still like we ain't never lost a step.
Of course.
We have this conversation all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that you have to have that real talk with your daughter, because he was saying the same thing. You know, it's time for me to be a man, time for me to move out and on my own.
Right.
I said, bro, and my conversation was, how old are you? I'm about to be 18. Cool. How long do you have to be a teenager? 19 years. I said, cool. How long do you have to be a man? He said, well, if I don't die, 70, 80, whatever. I said, so you got 19 years to be a teenager. Yeah. You got
right.
years to be a man.
Enjoy your youth.
Why are you in a rush?
No.
Have fucking fun while you can.
You have years to be a teenager.
I couldn't have. Hold on, real quick. I couldn't have the roof over your head, bed to sleep in, because he ain't trying to hear that. What I had to say was, I said, bro, at your job right now, you making $350 every 2 weeks. That's $700 a month. I said, bro, a plane ticket to Miami costs $250. A hotel room is $150 a night. But bro, you can stay at home and you and your boys can be going to Miami this month. Vegas has to make it appealing to him. Like, live your life, bro.
And you know what? Yeah, I do that with her
Enjoy
too.
your life. And his eyes lit up. Like, I can go to Vegas. I said, bro, you grown, right? So live your life, and then you're going to have more than enough time to be a man. Go out and buy the shoes you want. You don't have bills. Go out and eat where you want to eat, experience, and that is what inspired him. His mom was giving him the whole, if you can stay here for free and do this and do that. I'm like, bro, I know you want to holler at girls. You 18. Like, I've seen your phone. I know what time it is. You just can't do it at home.
Just take him to the room sometime.
And that motivated him to be like, okay, well, I can stay home and go to Miami. I can go to Vegas. I can go to Black Bike Week. I can go to Mardi Gras.
Right.
But I didn't know about none of this. So you got to kind of almost speak their language and make staying at home.
And that's what I try to do with her.
And we got to have a home for him.
My daughter is a hustler. She is money hungry. I'm telling you, this girl went to school with the granola bar, oats and honey granola bar, and I think an applesauce or some sort of fruit, and came back home with $5, sold the granola bar for $5, and ate the fruit herself. That girl is a hustler. She's about money, but I tell her she's the only kid I pay to do shit she's supposed to do anyway. And I tell her, you're being stupid. We go here, we go there. You want me to buy X, Y, and Z, but do you realize I just gave you X amount of money and you wasted majority of your money on this bullshit you shouldn't eat anyway? When you got a fridge stocked full of food, all you got to do is cook. Put the money up. You got
wait. Okay, wait. So this leads me into
I need to get my nails done and stuff that I wanted.
Look, this leads me into this conversation, right? Me growing up, I grew up like on some real shit, like cooking my own food, all this type of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask this question while I got another dude on the line with me. Like, why is it that women seem to feel like they can't fuck with somebody that actually needs them, but they want to feel needed?
You want me to answer that?